get ready, because we're going to do a deep dive
Ooh, deep dive.
into IELTS listening today.
Okay.
Specifically 25 tips from IELTS Buddy to help you totally crush this thing.
Awesome.
You want that best score.
Right.
And we are going to give you the tools to make you a true test-taking ninja.
I like it. Test-taking ninja.
You know, I'm looking at these.
Yeah.
It's so cool how they're not just like basic tips like, oh, study hard and, you know, get a good night's sleep. It's like they really go into the psychology and how the test is actually designed. So you can kind of outsmart it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's fascinating. Like they really tap into psychology and how the test is designed. And that's what gives you that extra edge, you know?
Okay. So like tip number 1 is understanding the context.
Okay.
Now, this sounds super basic, but IELTS Buddy stresses to use that initial time to really grasp who's talking, where they are, what's the topic, why is that so important?
Well, think of it like setting the stage for a play, right? So if your brain can kind of picture the scene, so whether it's a casual chat or you're in a lecture hall, you're already primed for the type of language and vocabulary that's likely to come up. So it's just that powerful tool to just activate those predictions.
So it's like instead of being hit with this wall of sound, your brain's kind of eased into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, tip number 2
builds
on this. Predict the answers.
All right.
Now, wait a minute. Predict before we even hear the track. How is that possible?
So it's all about observation, right?
Okay.
So look closely at those questions. Are they after names or dates or locations?
Yeah.
If you know what to expect, you make your brain this like targeted listener. So you're filtering out irrelevant noise. It's like having this mental searchlight.
So I'm not just passively listening. I'm on a mission.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
But that's the idea.
Okay, tip number 3.
Okay.
I wish I knew this back in my test-taking days.
Yeah.
Okay, that extra minute between sections.
Yes.
IELTS Buddy says, ditch checking your old answers. You can't change them anyway.
Yeah.
And jump to the next section for max preview time.
Yes.
What's the logic behind that?
So again, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
It taps into, again, how our brains work under pressure. So that 1 minute of preview isn't just reading. You're reducing that cognitive overload, right? You're familiarizing yourself with the vocabulary, the question types.
Yeah.
So when the audio hits, you're not starting from scratch.
Like the difference between walking into a dark room or walking into a room with the lights already on, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. It makes all the difference.
Love it. All right. Tip number 4 is a visual one.
Okay.
Be wary of question order, especially in tables or diagrams. They don't always flow like left to right or top to bottom. They might try to trick you up. So what's the strategy there?
So a simple trick here is to physically trace the flow with your finger or your pencil, and it just reinforces that intended sequence visually.
Yeah.
So it prevents those like, wait, where are my moments?
Oh, I can totally see myself doing that.
Absolutely.
Like just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Keep it clear in your mind.
Tip number 5, looking at 2 questions at once.
Okay.
Now, is this just about speed or is there something deeper happening?
So it's twofold.
Okay.
First, answers might be clustered close together in the audio. And if you have tunnel vision on one question, you'll miss the next.
Right.
The second is looking ahead can reveal if you've missed something entirely.
Oh.
So it's like having this backup system.
So it's strategic, not just rushing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Tip number 6, we all need this one. Move on if you miss an answer.
Yes.
Don't panic. Focus on what's coming.
Right.
Easier said than done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is where I think mindfulness comes in. So recognizing that missing an answer, it happens.
Yeah.
The key is training your brain to detach from that frustration and recenter, whether that's deep breaths, positive self-talk, whatever it is that just gets you back in the game.
It's like a mental reset button.
Exactly.
Which takes practice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, tip number 7.
Okay.
This is specific to the paper-based test.
Right.
If you're utterly lost, watch when other folks turn the page.
Okay.
A little bit of test-taking espionage.
I like it. I like it.
Is that ethical?
I mean, It can be a subtle way to just get back on track, especially if you've like completely lost your bearings.
Right.
But of course, your primary focus
Yeah.
should always be your own test.
Sure.
But this can act as that like last resort.
It's like a subtle emergency signal.
Exactly. Just to kind of get you back on track.
Tip number 8, beware of paraphrasing.
Yes.
They love to trick us by not using the exact words from the question.
Yeah, so this is where vocabulary building pays off big time.
Okay.
The more synonyms and like related terms that you know, the easier it'll be for you to just spot those links between the questions and the audio.
Right.
It's like having that mental thesaurus at your disposal.
Because sometimes they'll throw in a really fancy word just to be sneaky.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. All right, tip number 9.
Okay.
Don't freak out over unknown words.
Yes.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But one word shouldn't derail the whole experience.
Exactly.
What we do.
So focus on what you do understand.
Okay.
Use those context clues to kind of guess at the gist. Or honestly, sometimes just let it go.
Yeah.
You don't need 100% word-for-word comprehension to grasp those main ideas.
It's like reading a book and not letting one word that you don't know stop you from enjoying the whole story.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tip number 10. Visual again. Underline or highlight keywords in the questions.
Right.
Why is that so important?
So this is especially powerful in sections 3 and 4,
Okay.
where things get a bit more complex by visually emphasizing those key names, places, concepts.
Yeah.
You're creating those mental triggers that help you just zero in on the relevant information as you listen.
So it's like giving your brain that search function.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love it. Tip number 11. This is a bit of a stickler.
Okay.
Be meticulous about spelling and grammar.
Yes.
Ugh, why?
So, I know it's annoying, but every detail matters in IELTS listening, right?
Oh, okay.
A misspelled word, a wrong tense, can cost you points. So double check everything, use that context for clues, and ensure that those answers are grammatically sound.
So it's about accuracy, as much as comprehension.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's not just hearing it, it's getting it down right.
Exactly.
Okay, tip number 12 offers some relief, though. Both British and American spellings are accepted.
Oh, good. So whether you prefer, color or color,
you're good to go.
Awesome.
This is just a reminder that IELTS is assessing your English comprehension, not your allegiance to one particular spelling system.
That's one less thing to worry about.
Exactly.
Tip number 13 is a reassuring one.
Okay.
Nobody's judging our scribbles in the question booklet.
Yes. This is important.
Why is that such a big deal?
So those notes are your own personal battle plan, right?
Okay.
You can jot down keywords, abbreviations, whatever helps you process that information.
Right.
Don't worry about neatness. It's all about functionality.
It's my test, my strategy.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, tip number 14. We've all ignored this at some point. Read the instructions carefully.
Yes.
Like, why?
So, it sounds obvious.
Yeah.
But those word limits, serious business.
Oh, yeah.
If they say no more than 2 words, you better stick to it.
Okay.
Otherwise, even a correct answer is marked wrong.
Ouch.
Precision is key.
So it's not just about getting the concept.
It's about following the rules of the game.
Exactly.
Heartbreaking after all that effort.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, tip number 15 is about capitalization.
Okay.
Can we go all caps, or will that annoy the examiners?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah.
The official word is that both upper and lowercase are fine.
Awesome.
So whether you're feeling, loud or chill, your answers are valid.
Awesome. Express yourself.
Yeah.
Through capitalization.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk accents. Tip number 16.
Okay.
This can be a big worry for test takers.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So IELTS throws in a variety of accents, but British English tends to dominate.
Okay.
So if that's not your usual exposure, it's worth just getting acquainted with those nuances of British pronunciation.
Time to brush up on those charming British inflections.
Exactly.
All right, tip number 17.
Okay.
Seems simple, but crucial.
Yeah.
Practice pronouncing letters and numbers.
Yes.
Like, why? We know letters and numbers.
You'd be surprised how many points are lost because somebody couldn't differentiate between 15 and 50.
Or B and D.
Exactly. Yeah. Or misheard a letter in a name. It's just about eliminating those avoidable errors.
Oh, the horror. So it's clear enunciation.
Yeah.
Especially in that British style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, tip number 18 is a sneaky one.
Right.
Watch out for speaker corrections.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So this is where they really try and trick you.
Okay.
A speaker will give an answer and then change their mind.
Oh.
And if you're not laser focused,
right.
you might write down that first answer
yeah.
and miss the correction entirely.
Oh, so it's like they're testing our ability to filter in real time and adapt?
Exactly, yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, almost done with this batch.
Okay.
Tip number 19, don't leave any answers blank.
Yes.
Should we just make something up?
Yeah, I mean, there's no penalty for guessing.
Right.
But there is one for an empty space.
Oh.
So even if you're clueless, take a shot. You might get lucky.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right, tip number 20. This is another paper test specific one.
Okay.
Transfer your answers to the answer sheet carefully.
Yes.
Why?
So a misplaced answer, as well as being wrong, you need to take your time, double check that you're in the right spot.
Right.
And make sure your handwriting is legible.
Oh, yeah.
Because those examiners need to be able to decipher your brilliance.
It's got to be readable.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so tip number 21 is kind of like a combo of 11 and 20.
Right.
Check your answers.
Yes.
Again.
Specifically for spelling and grammar.
Okay.
One last time during that transfer, it's your final chance to catch those careless errors. Think of it like proofreading an important email before hitting send.
No embarrassing typos on the IELTS.
Exactly.
Tip number 22 is the most zen tip, I think.
Okay.
Listen very carefully.
Yes.
Okay, easier said than done.
Easier said than done, I know.
So how do we actually do that?
It really is the foundation of success here.
Right.
Minimize those distractions, stay focused, and try to block out any of those test-taking anxieties. It's about being fully present in that moment.
It's like entering a state of listening flow.
Exactly.
Undisturbed by the outside world.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, tip number 23 is about practice.
Okay.
But not just any practice.
Right. Targeted practice.
Targeted practice.
That aligns with your interests, right?
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
So, do you love movies?
Okay.
Watch them in English.
Yeah.
Are you a podcast fan? Subscribe to some English language ones.
Right.
Make it enjoyable.
It shouldn't feel like a chore.
No.
It should be something you're actually interested in.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, tip number 24. This is helpful for section 4, listen to lectures.
Right.
Because that section often has a lecture format, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lectures have a very unique structure and language, so they often start with an intro outlining those main points. They use a lot of signposting language for transitions. They might include examples or anecdotes.
Yeah.
So by listening to lectures beforehand, you're training your ears to recognize those patterns and anticipate what's coming.
So what are some good resources for that?
So TED Talks are fantastic because they provide transcripts so you can actually check your understanding. University websites often have free lecture recordings.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And a lot of those online learning platforms offer those lecture-based courses.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, there's a wealth of resources out there.
Excellent. Okay, we've reached the final tip in this set.
All right.
Tip number 25.
Okay.
Practice listening and writing together.
Yes.
So what's the logic behind that?
So this is where it all comes together.
Okay.
It's not enough to just understand spoken English. You need to be able to transcribe it accurately and efficiently. So practice taking notes while listening.
That mental workout for both skills.
Okay, we just went through 25.
We did it.
Fantastic IELTS listening tips.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more confident already.
Me too.
Now, what's one final thought-provoking question you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Okay, good question.
Something that kind of encourages them to apply these tips to their own study plan.
So here's something to consider.
Okay.
Out of these 25 tips, which one resonated with you the most?
Oh, that's good.
And how can you incorporate that into your IELTS preparation routine starting today?
That's a great question. I encourage everyone to reflect on that.
Absolutely.
And remember, you got this.
You do.
Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Stay focused and practice, practice, practice.
Practice makes perfect. So just to recap, the IELTS listening section, it's challenging.
It is.
But it's absolutely conquerable.
Absolutely.
By understanding the format, practicing diligently, and developing a strategic approach. You can achieve your desired score.
You can.
So true. And don't forget the power of self-belief.
Absolutely not.
A positive mindset can be your secret weapon.
It can be.
We hope you found this deep dive insightful and empowering.
Absolutely.
Best of luck on your IELTS journey.
Good luck.